Welcome to Resourced and Resourceful Leadership, a podcast for people who care about the world and their impact in it. I'm Dr. Christine Pettit, and today we're going to do a little bit of a story time about how I came to love karaoke or karaoke. I will also be sharing how karaoke connects to leadership for me and why I'm hosting a backyard karaoke lunch, karaoke in broad daylight, specifically for nonprofit leaders who are parents. When I told my partner Renee about this event, he said, "That is very specific." And that's right, it is. If it doesn't apply to you and you're interested in this sort of event, that's okay. Let me know. Maybe we'll come up with something else. This, of course, is for folks who are willing to come to Long Beach. I do have a very particular reason for focusing on this group for this particular event at this time. So I'll share more about that in the podcast as well. Just really quick, if that piqued your interest and you are in or around Long Beach, California, and you are in the nonprofit sector or the social impact sector more broadly, so that could be unions, philanthropy, it could be mission-driven businesses, it could be some programs in governmental work. So if that sounds like you and you are in the thick of parenting or caregiving right now, this event is for you. It's taking place on Friday, July 10th from noon to 1:30. And I will share the link to sign up in the show notes for this episode. So here's the description I have for it. Are you a leader in the nonprofit or social impact sector who is in the thick of parenting right now? From board presentations to bedtime stories, grant deadline on Tuesday, science fair, project due Wednesday. You know how it goes. Though it is the summer, so that's a whole other thing, summer camp chaos. If you've ever wanted to belt something out after a day like that, this is your chance. Take a long lunch and join us for a cathartic karaoke mixer in Long Beach, California. No need to play it cool. You'll be in the company of people who get what it's like to lead all day and then lead some more at home. This is a bring your own lunch sort of deal. You bring your own lunch and we'll provide beverages and the mic at this private outdoor location in the Wrigley neighborhood of Long Beach. I will include some adult or alcoholic options as well as non-alcoholic. I know it's lunch, but we're all adults. If you want to have a drink, go for it. And whether you sing solo, sing backup, or just sing along, that will be okay too. You can let it all out with people who get what it's like to juggle all the things. Come a few minutes late, duck out early if you must, just get here. You won't want to miss it. There is a slight admission fee for this, $25 for those of you who are singing, and that includes backup and sing-along. So really, anybody can do this. You don't have to get up on, it's not going to be a real stage anyway. But if you're not going to sing at all, not even to support the folks that are up there, it's double the price, $50, the just here to listen rate. So I would love it if you joined me, if this applies to you. If it doesn't, and you know folks that it does apply to, please send this to them. You can get it through the link tinyurl.com/lunch. That's LA lunch. La 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 la. I'm pretty proud of the name, La 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 Lunch. So initially I was like playing with it. I thought about a lunch and learn. So it was like lunch and latte dough, But then just kind of playing around with it, La 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 Lunch came out, and I'm pretty pleased with myself, I have to say. Please join or share or just like cheer me on. I have to say, my inner critics definitely showed up earlier this week. Like, I landed on this idea through coaching a week ago. By the time you are hearing this, that was a week ago. And it just kind of swirled around in my brain. Like, I was excited, but I was like, why am I doing this exactly? Like, how does it connect to what I'm building in my business? And then I did some just kind of thinking about it with my inner wise self. And so I have some notes from there. Like, how does karaoke connect to what I'm building? The flavor is fun, maybe challenging, uncomfy for some, catharsis, community. So there's that. I am thinking about doing other work and different types of groups with folks in the nonprofit sector and beyond, really. I'm not limiting myself necessarily, but there's definitely some threads connected to the nonprofit sector, since that's a big part of where I come out of, and that social impact, values-driven work and organizing is important to me. I do want to survey people, but so that's something I'm thinking about too, like surveying about potential offers for the future, but then I need to actually do something with it, and so I'll figure out kind of when I do that. I am still doing my personal kind of business retreat July 6th through 10th, so this event is the end of the retreat. It's also a few days before my birthday, so I feel like it's a good way to kick off turning 47. And also with the coach I'm working with on this part of my business, we talked about landing, like, just kind of agreeing this period as experimentation between now and the autumn equinox is experimentation, and then I want to land on what I'm going to be nurturing kind of through that period, the autumn equinox through the next spring. So that's where I'm at right now, and I'm still offering, everything else that I do, all the leadership coaching and organizational development. I did some more writing. This was over the weekend. I was thinking about, like, what is my tone? Like, what's my approach when I share this with people? I think part of me, like, I'm very earnest, encouraging, fun, knowledgeable. I can go deep, vulnerable, sometimes sassy, challenging. But mostly I'm earnest and encouraging, I think. I really want people to know that they're not alone. And I know that as people in the leadership space who are parents, we can make a million excuses, and like good excuses, for why you can't come to something like this, like a lunch that's just about having fun and connecting with other people who understand your world or a piece of it. But I think that's kind of what I want to convey in the way that I share this with people. Like, come on, this will make you feel better. Like, you will be better for coming and being part of this thing. And I also noted, like, that could feel medicinal, but also not in a good way sometimes, because it's like someone kind of calling you out, or like even assuming, like, hey, you know me, like, this is gonna make me feel better. Like, really? Like, being in a backyard in the middle of the day, like, singing karaoke is gonna make me feel better? No. But I think that, like, I don't want that to be what I convey. I just want it to be like a warm invitation to connect, to have fun, to sing a rage song if you need to, like, get it out, as the Four Non-Blondes sang, to get it all out, what's in my head. You know, I've shared that before, why I love karaoke. So anyway, I thought I would be talking about taking the long view in this episode, and maybe I am in some ways. I'm taking the long view of not having to get everything figured out today, and also to just, like, relish in the present moment too. Like, so much good is going on in my life and in my work, and I don't need to fix anything, but I do know I've felt pulled to create other offerings, to do things, like, creatively from me and, like, my approach that's not necessarily custom to what an organization is asking for or what someone is showing up to leadership coaching for. So still want to do all that, but I am creating something too. And what I've created so far is La 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 Lunch. So again, please come if this applies to you, this specific group. And if you're like, Christine, like, it does not apply to me, but I would really like to participate in this in some way, let me know. And we'll figure it out. Like, maybe we'll do another one. It could be, you know, just the anyone who wants to do it edition. It could be the executive director edition. It could be the consultant edition, whatever. But, like, yeah. It could be, my friend was talking to me about, like, doing different themes and types of songs. But right now, I'm not committing to this being, like, a monthly thing or whatever. I want to try it out, have fun, and I'm experimenting. So that's a little bit about my process and how I've been thinking about this. And then the person I'm working with on this part of coaching, I've talked with you on this podcast about my coach, Dewey Dan, and this is Stephanie Keiko Kong that I'm working with as well. Ponytail on Instagram and a lot of the other places too, but I am appreciating working with her specifically on building out kind of the ecosystem of my work and what I'm offering right now. So that's fun. I think I started mapping out to what I wanted to share in this episode about how I came to love karaoke. So, like I said, I did not always love karaoke. I was intimidated by it. I thought I needed to be good at it, like singing, and if I wasn't good at singing, then that was embarrassing. Some of my earliest memories of karaoke was when my first year in Los Angeles. So I was with a whole bunch of exchange students from different parts of the United States, as well as some international exchange students too. And one of I think he wasn't really an RA. He was kind of like an ambassador. I don't know. I don't think he was a resident assistant. It just felt like he was an ambassador for us new people to LA. He brought us to Miyagi's on Sunset, which I don't think exists anymore, last I checked. But it was a sushi bar. Miyagi and Set. Is it? No. Yeah. It's closed. I don't know when it closed. Their Yelp is still active, but let's see. Sushi Miyagi. Wow, they were there until 2024? Oh my gosh. So, okay. I started going there, little tangent. I started going there when I was 20, and you could go and have sushi. And then once you went into the restaurant, they didn't really ID you if you wanted to go up to the club where they also had karaoke. But the people who did karaoke a lot of them were good. We were like Hollywood, Sunset. They were like looking to be discovered. So that was intimidating. I sang songs like Barbie Girl with my friends, but it was always like a group sort of situation. So that's a memory. Another karaoke memory that's pretty fun is when I was a union leader, another president of a union like mine, we went to a conference for like all the union leaders, and they had karaoke, and he surprised the heck out of me and probably everyone else by singing Mack the Knife, like just perfectly, just so well. So it was funny to like see someone with that surprise talent, and it was like a rare thing that he brought out. I don't know if I sang then. I dated somebody who was really into karaoke and was partnered with someone who was really into karaoke. He put a lot into like his performance and how, I mean, not like a lot, like he planned it, but he was big on it. He loved it. It was fun for him to perform. And again, I was still like figuring it out, and I would sing occasionally, but it was like the worst. And then one fateful July 4th, my partner at the time, my friends, we were at the Bluff in Long Beach and watched the fireworks and probably drank a little bit too much or just enough. And we started conga lining down Broadway, the neighborhood in Long Beach, and ended up at Broadway Cocktail Lounge. And they have karaoke there, and it's just, I don't know why, but it was just amazing. Had so much fun, and a lot of like, there's a range of people who sing there, some good, some not so good. I would fall into the not so good category. People can be very encouraging, but also really do not care. And so I just found kind of my karaoke home there. And around the same time, though I think I sang it at a different bar, around the same time I found like one of my go-to karaoke songs was Celebrity Skin by Hole, which if you know me and you know the song, you might be like, what? But I love that it's just so like sarcastic and like, yeah, like screw you. I don't know. I just like, that's the catharsis. And I think I finally connected to just like having fun, like singing ugly, singing embarrassing, like just letting loose. And yes, alcohol is involved a lot of the time, but I did sing karaoke at almost 9 months pregnant, totally sober. And I wanted to go because my daughter was breech, and I was like, I'm gonna sing like You Turn Me Right Round, Baby. Is that the one I did? No, I did Upside Down, Boy You Turn Me. Yeah, I did that one because I just was like, I thought it was fun, and I had tried everything else, so I was like, I might as well try to sing to will this baby to move. She did not move, but I just share that to say you can enjoy karaoke sans alcohol, and I know many people who do, and I encourage that as well. So over the years, occasionally I'll invite groups of people to go sing, or we'll end up at like some nonprofit event and then afterwards go out. I've done it for my birthday, belated birthday before, and sometimes like that holiday period between Christmas and New Year's. So I like to invite groups of people out. I like to make it fun. I like to show them like a very cringe, unabashed version of karaoke. I have converted people to the love of karaoke. My friend Megan was like, you taught me. I learned from you, but I still learn from her. She was like, the secret is you have to go all in. And that's right. And so even when now, sometimes my nerves still come up and I'm like, okay, all in, like just let it be what it is. Another friend of mine said that she saw Karaoke Christine in my daughter, which I love because to me that's like that kind of freedom and just like being yourself. And it made me a little like feel a little tender because I feel like there were a lot of reasons why I lost that sense of freedom and like sense of just embodiment and that all in like this is who I am sense of things. But a few years ago I did a workshop for public health professionals called Rest and Play for Public Health Professionals, and we talked about different types of play. And for me, karaoke is like a form of play as well. It's like trying something on, trying on a different emotion, a different kind of way of being, and yeah, play. I like it. So I started writing out. I want to kind of flesh out a list of like lessons that I've learned from karaoke or like karaoke and leadership. I'm recording this podcast. This is definitely like a get it done moment. I'm so tired right now, but I want to get it done. So this is not like the edited, shaped version of this, but I started just jotting down some notes about like karaoke and leadership lessons from karaoke. These are not fully formed thoughts, but hopefully they're the seeds for sharing more about my love for karaoke and how it connects back to leadership. So I wrote, it's more fun when everyone's singing along. But then I was like, asterisk there. Sometimes it's for you though, and sometimes it's for the audience too. So sometimes, like one of the reasons I like Broadway bar is like people don't really seem like they care. Like they don't care if you bomb, I'm not singing for them, though I love it when it is an experience that I can tell people are into. But for me, as I said, karaoke is cathartic. Sometimes I scream sing, sometimes I don't, I'm sure my pitch is all off, whatever. It's fun. We need fun. We need fun. And that's why this particular event is targeted toward the folks in social impact sector who are parents as well, who are like just juggling all the things and don't have much time for them. Like initially I was like, oh yeah, a karaoke night. I'm like, no, we need to have karaoke during lunch. Like we need to get it in and like not juggle who's putting the baby to bed or whatever, do I have childcare? So we are doing La 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 Lunch. So yeah, we need fun, even in the midst of all the things that are important that we care about. Fun is a form of self and community care. It is a form of rest, play. Like there's different ways to rest, and this is one. And karaoke, it can just take you to different places. It can be nostalgic. It could remind you of different points in your life. You can try on, like I said, different personas, different ways of being. Maybe as a leader, you want to see what song is like your anthem for how you want to show up, or maybe you have different anthems. And karaoke creates some community too. So yeah, that's a really, I'm judging my list. There is way more in terms of leadership lessons from karaoke, but those are my partially formed thoughts right now. And this is me having some fun, but also showing up imperfectly and getting it done, embracing that done is better than perfect. So I hope that some of the joy that I have and the fun I'm having exploring karaoke and bringing it into the leadership work that I do, like I've literally thought about coaching people using karaoke, even like the one-on-one. Maybe it's people who are scared to do karaoke. Maybe there's some other thing. As I said, there's like a Q&A on the Eventbrite site, which you get to through the tiny URL that I mentioned. But one of the benefits of singing is that it helps to reset our autonomic nervous system. It literally helps to calm us down, which you might not think if you're thinking about performing in front of people. But like I said, you can sing along. It's okay. You can sing backup. But singing can help us to reset. So there's a lot there. I hope that my joy and fun connected to this rubs off on you a little bit and maybe sparks something for you. I would love to hear what came up for you in this episode. So, of course, to get more of the Resource and Resourceful Leadership podcast, please follow or subscribe to the show. If you haven't already, you can get this podcast wherever you like to get your podcasts and on YouTube as well. And I will put a link to the event in the show notes. There's also a way to get on my email list, and you can contact me through my website. All of those things will be in the show notes. So if you're like, hey, I like this idea, I want to hear more, maybe when you do it for other groups. Also, for those of you who are listening who are not like in the Long Beach, California area, I would love to hear how else you might want to engage around this theme of fun, whether it's karaoke or not. But how could I support you from afar? I would love to hear from you on that. As always, there's going to be a link to SpeakPipe in the show notes as well. And on that, you can send me a voice memo if you would like. And, I really appreciate you listening. And special shout out to folks who have been listening all along the way. Special shout out to the new listeners. I really appreciate you. Thanks again, and take good care.